Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, you're welcome to Sew with Mediva. And if you're a returning subscriber or a returning viewer, thank you for sticking to my channel. So in today's video, I'll be showing you guys how to make this stylish bubu crop top with fringe design. And I achieved this style using 2 yards of African print fabric. So this is what the back of the top looks like. It is very simple and very beginners friendly. So if this is something you are interested in, make sure to keep watching and make sure you watch the video to the end so that you don't miss out on any detail. So if you find this video useful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel if you're yet to subscribe, and also share this video to your loved ones. So let's jump right in. So I made use of 2 yards of this beautiful African print fabric. I also have my ruler here, my scissors, my tape roll, and my chalk. So we're going to be cutting out the front and the back panels together, and I have both fabrics here. It is in a fold of 2. The front panel is in a fold of 2 and the back is also in a fold of 2. So to get the wideness of fabric to fold, the first thing I did was to divide my shoulder measurement by 2, which is 8 inches for me. And then I'll decide how long I want my sleeve to be. So I want my sleeve to be 11 inches long, but I have extra 12 inches there because of the folding allowance. So I'll come to the center front of my fabric and mark the neckline. So the width of the neckline is 3.5 inches, while the depth of the back panel is 1.5 inches. Connect the points together this way, and for the front neckline it is going to be a V-shaped neckline. So I came down by 7.5 inches. And then I'll use my ruler to connect it all the way to meet the neck width this way. After marking the neckline, I'll come over to the open angle of my fabric and come down by 1 inch. And I use my ruler to connect it all the way to meet the neckline width. So we've marked out the neckline of our top. So the next thing is to take from the shoulder to the bust point. So for mine is 10.5 inches. I'm going to mark it there. So on that point I just marked, I'm going to place my round bust measurement divided by 4, which is 10 inches. I'll add 2 extra inches for ease, making 12 inches, and 1 inch for seam allowance to make 13 inches. And then just use my ruler to connect it all the way down to the full length of the top and extend this to create the sleeve. So go ahead to form a curve on that side this way. Go ahead to curve it out this way. So this is basically all on the drafting of the top. Let's go ahead to cut it out. So I'll first of all cut out the back neckline. So when I separate the fabrics, I'll cut out the front. So take the sleeve and then take out the shoulder slope. So after cutting, I'll separate the two fabrics and then I'll cut out the front neckline. So when you open it up, this is what you should have. This is what the back should look like. So I'm going to be cutting out facing for the neckline. To cut out the back facing, I have a fabric here. It is in a fold of 2. So I'm going to fold the back panel into 2 this way and then place it on my fabric. So I'll just go ahead to trace out the neckline, the shape of the neckline, and then cut out additional 1.5 inches to it this way. So when you place it on the neckline, right sides facing each other, you then go ahead to stitch it down using half of an inch all the way down. So let's go ahead to cut out the front neckline facing. For that one, I have also folded another fabric into 2, and then I'll go ahead to just cut out the neckline on it and then cut out additional 1.5 inches to the fabric this way. So I'll also place it right sides facing each other this way and go ahead to join it together. I'll stitch the neckline down using half of an inch. Stitch it all the way down. You can start from the midpoint so that it comes out really well. So after stitching the facing to the neckline, this is what it looks like. I also went ahead to notch it before I turned it over to the wrong side and I ironed it out. So I'm still going to use my hemming gum to hold this facing down. So the next thing we're going to do is to join the front and the back panels together. So I'm going to place them right sides facing each other this way. And then I'll take the facing of the front panel and turn to the back, just as you can see me doing in the video. Turn the facing of the front panel to the back and go ahead to close it up on the shoulder. I'll repeat the same process on the other side. I'll turn the front facing to the back this way then go ahead to stitch it on the shoulder all the way down. When I'm done, I'll also fold the sleeve opening and then I'll close up the sides using my 1 inch seam allowance. So make sure to fold the sleeve opening before you close up the sides. So when I'm done doing all of that, I'll show you guys. So after I closed up the shoulder, this is what it looks like. So you can see how neat it looks on the wrong side now. I also finished up the sleeve opening before I closed up the sides. As you can see, I folded the sleeve opening twice and stitched it down before I went ahead to close up the sides all the way down. And then on the wrong side, I also notched this curved part. I used my scissors to cut the seam opened so that it relaxes very well on the right side. So you can see how neat it looks now. So like I said earlier, I'm still going to use my hemming gum to finish up the neckline, the facing on the wrong side. I'm going to iron my hemming gum there. So the next thing I want to do is to work on the fringe. So for my fringe, I want each fringe to be 1 inch wide and I want 1 inch between each fringe. I hope you guys understand. So I have 24 inches there. So meaning I'm going to need 12 fringe for the front and 12 for the back. So I'm going to just mark 1 inch all the way down. So I'll just keep marking 1 inch all the way down to the edge of the top, and I'll repeat the same process for the back panel. So I'm going to cut out the fabric I'll be using to create the fringe. So this is the stressful part of this top. So since I want my fringe to be 1 inch wide, the wideness I have there is 3 inches. I'll fold it into two and then use half an inch to close it up. So after closing up, I'll cut out the excess seam and then turn it over to the right side. So after I turned over, this is what it looks like now. And like I said, the wideness of the fringe is 1 inch while the length is 18 inches. You can decide to work with whatever you want. So I also make sure I closed up one side of the fringe. So I'm going to start by placing the first one on the marked area this way. So after placing it, I'm going to leave 1 inch gap and place the next one. I hope you guys understand. So you can decide to make your fringe 0.5 inches apart. It just depends on what you want. For mine, I did 1 inch and I really loved the outcome. So I'm going to give another 1 inch gap and then go ahead to just use my pin to hold it down. So make sure the open side of your fringe is where you are pinning, while the closed angle is towards the upper part, just as you can see. So I've only cut out for 4 fringe, so I'm going to just go ahead to finish up the rest off camera. So after pinning, I'm going to stitch the fringe down on the blouse. I'll stitch it down and show you guys. So I've gone ahead to stitch down the fringe now. You can see how beautiful it looks now, and I've done the same thing for the back as well. The next thing to do is to turn it over with my bias. So you can use a bias strip to do this. You can use a bias strip to turn over the base. So I'm going to place it right side facing the fringe this way and then proceed to stitch it all the way around. You can just get a very long strap to do this so that you can stitch all around your blouse. So when I'm done, I'll show you guys how to turn over. So after stitching it down, this is what it looks like. So next thing I'm going to do now is to turn this over to the wrong side. So you're going to bring down the fringe this way so that you don't go and stitch on it. You bring down your fringe this way and then proceed to fold in that bias. Just fold it in twice. If you're using a bias strip, it will be much easier. Just fold it in and then proceed to stitch it all the way down. Stitch it all the way around it. I hope you guys understand. So make sure you're not stitching on your fringe when you are doing this. So pull your fringe down while you turn over with the bias to give a neat finishing at the base. So just go ahead to stitch it and finish up the base all around. So after doing all of that, this is what it looks like. You can see how beautiful and how neat it looks. So it looks really neat on the right side and also looks neat on the wrong side. You can see what we have on the wrong side now. You can see what it looks like. And I've also gone ahead to use my hemming gum to finish the neckline on the wrong side. So this is what the back of the top looks like. You can see how beautiful it looks and how easy it is to achieve. So this is where we end this video for today, guys. I hope you found it useful and I hope you learned something new. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up, leave a comment and subscribe to my channel.